Hi, this is Tarina Boone, and I wanted to discuss with you something that I feel is very important, and that's getting our whole department certified in central service. I feel that it's important for us at Western Maryland Healthcare, UPMC, to get on board and join state guidelines and mandated policies and procedures. This slide right here, I wanted to explain the significance of becoming certified in the sterile processing field. Personally, I feel we are not providing the best service that is available to our patients. It would be advantageous for the whole department to become educated and certified in central service. Now, I'm not saying we're doing anything wrong or that is bad. I just feel that we need to give the best care that we can. When we work as a team, as we do every day, we must all be on the same level for following the same guidelines. One can never know everything about their job. In this profession, guidelines can change every day. Therefore, it's important to be abreast of the new techniques and policy changes that happen. Knowledge is the key to unlocking the door for patient care. The next slide, I wanted to depict an image of what it's like in the decontam area. As you can see, it's very complex, it's very tedious, and it's important that we clean the instruments in this area the same way every time. This is essential. Certification will implement this process, and it will happen. The next slide, I wanted to explain our current standard that we use in central service. Right now, when we have new hires come in, we turn to our senior staff who has experience in the department, and they are responsible for training the new employees. The new employees at that time are given varied regulations that are taught according to the way the experienced trainer teaches them. What is the problem with this? New staff does not receive the state guidelines and regulations that are required to be carried out in healthcare facilities today. And why is that? Because they were not trained, they were not educated. And it is not to blame for them, but they need to take a challenge, and they need to open up and realize that this would be the best thing for them. The next slide, I explain why change. Why should we change in our department? Everything's going fine. Why change? One of the reasons, certification drives knowledge and competency. Another reason, it helps ensure that the central service professionals stay current with regulations, standards, and best practices. Number 3 reason, it gives them the confidence in knowing they have both the tools and skills needed to overcome the most challenging obstacle. There's nothing better than knowing, oh man, I have this problem. But guess what? I know how to handle it. I know how to sterilize that piece of equipment. I know how to clean that particular instrument. But above all these reasons I've just depicted, certification demonstrates that quality care and safety are the driving forces behind the Central Service Department. I was able to get this knowledge from the Isham's Handbook of Obtaining and Receiving Certification in the 2019 revised edition. My next slide shows the educational topics that are covered in the certification manuals. These topics are low and high temperature sterilizing, anatomy and physiology, safety and quality control, infection control, central service basics. If you notice, 2 out of the 5 topics were very specific when they said the word control. Actually, all 5 of these topics have a controlled process. The information that is released is standardized across the board. You'll receive the same information here in Maryland that you would as in Pennsylvania or New York. It's standardized, it's the same on all guidelines. You won't find every varying degree. In Texas we do it this way. In North Carolina we do it this way. No, everything is regulated, so everybody is on the same level. My next slide, organizations that offer certification exam and prep courses. There are two that I highly recommend. Isham's Association has partnered up with Purdue University, and they offer an educational program. The employee can purchase the handbook and the workbook for the exam prep. CBSPD, which stands for the Central Service Board for Sterile Processing Distribution. This is another organization that offers education and exam prep. They offer a handbook and a workbook for the exam prep. You don't have to go through a course. If you have years of experience and you feel that you are well ready to take the exam, you may take the exam. Your employer must have written supervisor's approval, signing off that you've had X amount of hours in certain departments, and you can take the test without reading the book material. So that is another option that's available to you. Isham's Association, that's partnered up with Purdue University, their exam fee within the United States and Canada is $125. The exam is computerized and proctored. You're given 3 hours to complete the exam. Once your application and your payment have been received by Isham's, processing usually takes 5 to 7 days. The information on your exam eligibility period, your scheduling and available test dates and locations, all this will be mailed to the address provided. A pass or fail notice will be provided on screen at the testing center upon your completion of the exam, and Isham's will only release the full results to you directly in written format at the home address that's provided. Results can take up to 3 to 6 weeks to receive. I obtained this information from Isham's Handbook of Obtaining and Maintaining Certification. It's on page 2 of the application in the 2019 edition. And the Isham's exam, they use these following reference materials for the exam. Central Service they utilize the Isham Central Service Technical Manual. In the 8th edition, the 2016 revision. ANSI Standard 79 Manual, 2017 edition. The AORN's Guidelines for Peri-Op and Practice, the 2019 edition. There again, I received this information in the Isham's Handbook. It's in the back of the manual. CBSPD, and again, these initials stand for Central Board for Sterilization and Processing and Distribution. This is another organization that's highly recommended. Their exam fee is $125. After you've sent an approved method of payment, credit card, business check, or money order, they'll send you your email postcard with information on how to schedule and date your exam. Candidates must arrive at the testing center 30 minutes prior to the scheduled time of the exam. The passing scaled score is 70. An official pass or fail only indication will be given at the completion of the computerized exam for those testing in the U.S. I received this information from the Central Board of Sterilizing and Processing and Distribution in their manual. It's in the back of the manual on page 31, and their revised edition is copyrighted 2020. My conclusion upon this proposal that I am sitting here explaining to you, it is with the utmost care and compassion that I'm asking for you to consider this proposal for requiring certification of central service worker. I believe it should be done within 2 years of their start date. I'm asking for the employees to be grandfathered in if they fail the test after 2 testing attempts. The employee that fails should not be terminated or displaced. If the employee is learning and constantly stimulated to learn, they should be acknowledged and commended for their attempts. The main reason for the certification requirement is for the patient that comes into our facilities each and every day. We owe it to the patient and their families to receive the best quality of service that can be provided. I want to thank you, and this ends my proposal.